Well, how did it do? Welcome, everybody, to another live edition of Real Talk for Real Men. I'm your host, Lee Black. That was some refreshing, a little lighthearted intro music. That was a little different. So, thanks to TFG, the platform that I would broadcast on, for making that happen. So, the innovator behind the brainstorm behind it, Mr. Lamar, I guess he decided, hey, let's do something different. I like it. I actually like it. It kind of gave that airy kind of feel, and with spring coming, everybody dealing with the throes of winter. That was a nice little change, so nice little surprise. So it instantly had me kind of in my little zone. So I'm sipping on some red wine tonight, folks. So get what you need. Hopefully we're going to have a great conversation. I see that we've got Tasha in the house from Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on, Tasha?
Not much. I'm here.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here again. I know that some of you, different ones, are dealing with weather issues or whatnot. So appreciate you definitely being here, popping in and check us out and being a part of the conversation. We got Terrence, Cuzzo from New York. Appreciate you being here. How you doing, Terrence? Let's meet my brother. I see him waiting in the wings. My brother from another, Mr. Kendrick Sports Hustle himself. What's going on, partner?
What's happening, my good brother Black? How my good sister Tasha? How you doing?
What's going on, Kenny?
Good,
Bro,
good.
I'm doing all right. So,
I love that music. I thought I was on. Too. I thought I was like, wait a minute, where am I at? I felt like
it was different. You know what I'm saying? Because we used to the normal countdown. So that was a little different, had a nice little feel to it, but it instantly gave me a nice little vibe. So I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. I got to turn my red cup up for that one.
That's what's up. And we missed him last week. Mr. Poston B Wet himself is in the house. What's going on?
Look out there,
what up? What's good?
How you doing, brother? And I see you showing out with the Eagles cap. What's going on, buddy?
You already know. You know the vibes. 2 million strong at the parade last week up top. Going crazy. A party. Everybody, all ages, all colors. Just having a good time, man. I love my city.
I love it. I love it, my brother.
Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to see you guys.
Bravo. We missed you, my brother. Bravo. Hopefully the missus will join us a little bit later, but congratulations again to your city, to the Eagles.
No, I'm not doing that though.
I gotta give it to him.
I'm not. No, y'all send us fishing. I'm damn so ain't.
Right.
Congratulations.
We expect the pettiness. We expect it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be petty because we on Lake Varnell where the catfish are delicious.
Did he say?
By the way.
Hell no, I ain't giving you jack. I love it. But look.
That's all right. You got to keep the same energy. I respect that. Keep the same energy.
Right. Believe me, I am.
I would have been happy either way. So, but I'm happy, and I gotta give a shout out. Shout out to Philly. So again, I know too many people that showed up. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine what that did for the city. So that's what's up. That's what's up, though. So of course, we're gonna get into a good topic here. If you don't know, our platform, Natasha and I, we pretty much try to do like a lighthearted show one week, then we try to alternate and do something a little bit, with some substance. So I wanted tonight to talk about a subject about, if you don't know, this show is based and rooted in relationships. So I wanted to talk about what I have looked at as the relationship recession. And off camera, my brother Kenny and I, we've had this conversation, and I've had that conversation recently with my nephew as well. And, at the very first beginning of this show, I started the very first episode, and I talked about men being from Mars, women from Venus, and I didn't know where the hell I was at. Here we are some 5 years later, folks. I'm just as confused as ever. So tough to know, but it's
so no clarity on anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I really don't. I don't have any more answers today than I did 5 years ago. Having said that, we just finished celebrating Valentine's Day, and I was looking at the numbers yesterday. So this show really was born out of yesterday because I was just curious to see, sales-wise, what happened. I know they projected to say that Americans was going to spend $14.6 billion on a significant other. And I was like, man, let me kind of look at the numbers or whatever. And then I end up discovering that, due to inflation and things like that, a lot of people were kind of opting out this year for various different reasons, because chocolate bars were up 12% from where they were a year ago. Eating out is up 8% from where it was a year ago. And surprisingly, Dozen Roses was down 5%, so I thought these numbers I want to kind of go behind that a little bit. And just this is not going to be about Valentine's Day, but it's really going to be about what I consider a relationship recession, because Tasha and I have always touted our comfort level with being single, and Tasha is not looking for anybody at all. She's made that clear on many levels. And I won't say that I'm looking, but I'm open. You know what I'm saying? And Brother Kenny, I think you feel kind of the same way, that, if it comes and it may happen. And you, Brother B, you got somebody. So you're winning in this game. But I wanted to talk to you guys and get your opinion on, first and foremost, do you think when it comes to relationships, always hear these terms about black love and this, that, and the other? What's going on? Grown woman, don't try me, CC.
What up, CC?
Yo, what up?
When you think of a recession, when it comes to relationships, do you believe we're in a relationship recession right now in 2025? Yay, nay, and I just want to hear your take. Do you think we are?
Yep.
Go, McMac. What?
I will say this, like, just from like the woman's standpoint, yeah, a lot of women are choosing to stay single longer, choosing to, choosing their peace based off of either something, like the previous relationship, or just all in all the lack of availability now of good men. Now, I would argue that point down. I still think that there's, available good men. Now, whether or not they're actively looking, this totally separate, question. But I think with the insurgence of dating and the horror stories from social media, I think that has sworn off a lot of people. And the growing popularity of the 4B movement that originated in Korea, that has also impacted women, and that they are also choosing to. If you don't know what the 4B movement is, it's no childbirth, it's no dating, it's no sex with men. It's those things. It's no marriage, no childbirth, no dating, no sex with men. That's the 4B movement, and it has really grown like with popularity over here. When it originated in Korea, it was for, of course, like different reasons why they were doing it. It's more so, related to what the culture is and what is required. And you have a whole generation of women now that are like, we don't have to do it that way. We don't have to get married. We don't have to be forced to be in these relationships. We don't have to, be with men if we don't want to. And we're going to opt out of doing that. So.
Tasha, do you have a secret camera in my place?
No. I think if I did, I would have seen too much. No.
Yeah,
that was a little
that warmed up chicken. You damn so good at.
I asked because she is so spot on. This entire conversation is going to be based on an article. When you said it came from an article that really caught my attention from The Guardian, and it's called "We're in a Relationship Recession." And a lot of women are absolutely fine with that. And it goes into the detail. And Tasha, I had never heard of the 4B movement. I've been
hearing it I would say really like the last 2 years, but this year especially, like with the current like political the group that's in charge right now, that really it started. I want to say I heard it like on the cusp of when they did the abortion ban. Like when that happened, it really ignited the fire.
Okay, I'm so glad you're here and that you are in tune with this. It shows again for me, women are always way ahead of us, And I've always had an expression. I said you got to stay 3 steps ahead to keep up with a woman. That she knows about that. Bert, had you ever heard of this? I know, Kenny, you didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was.
No,
had you heard of this, Bert?
No, I never heard of it.
I literally, and again, I read the article yesterday. So that was my first time, Tasha, familiarize myself with this. And so thank you for educating the audience about that. This has been a thing and it's not new. It's new, but it just happened today. So, wow, this is, so we're going to get into the more details of that. But Tasha says she definitely feel like there's a relationship recession. And from the woman's point of view, and that's what this article, my brothers, what do you think? And I'm gonna start with you, Bert, first, because you're married. You may see something different. I would imagine having friendships and associations with other couples or married people. From where you sit and what you see, do you think we're in a relationship recession?
Yeah, I do. Even so, being around single women and single men, friends of mine on the job or so forth. I think a lot of it is also just going beyond what Tasha was talking about. I think a lot of people are confused on both sides of the genders. I think nobody knows what they want. Sometimes you think you do know what they want, but they don't. And then right now, again, like we had talked about previously, I think that the minority of people who feel the way they feel, they're affecting the majority of people. Wow. And then you got people that are in relationships, that are in marriages, making it seem like, why are you in a marriage or why are you in a relationship? So nobody's promoting being together or showing love. Now it seems like, oh, if you all lovey-dovey on the outside, like, oh, look at y'all think y'all all that. Y'all, I guarantee y'all in secret, y'all probably ain't even like that. Right. Now it's deja vu to see anything like that. It's bad to see something like that. They'd rather see you out there fighting and arguing and cussing each other out than you actually showing love and kind of showing the blueprint on how you doing. We ain't saying we perfect. Right. We're not saying that everything is right. We just saying we love each other. That's just like with your brothers and sisters. I'm around them all the time, but guess what? Sometimes they get on my damn nerves. I be feeling like I want to, give them a two-piece. Right. But don't mean I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? So I think a little bit of that has something to do with it. And I do hear the guys too saying like they're not sure what to do with the women. They hear women like, listen, I want a strong man, and then they're saying they're claiming that they don't want to be bosses and stuff like that. They would love to have a man that can kind of take the reins. So it's just a lot going on out here. I just think everybody needs to take a deep breath and be themselves.
Man, I love your take, and thank you.
Keep it in your back pocket on what you hear. No. But man, you gotta be yourself and go out there and look, because it ain't gonna make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they're gonna be, You just move on. You ain't gotta hook your carriage onto them. If they ain't right for you, just keep it moving. You need to be by yourself. Be by yourself. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself.
Boom. I love everything you had to say, and you nailed it, and I appreciate your perspective. I wanted to say me and my brother Kenny because I wanted to be sure for us to go last, brother, is because we're experiencing it from the single male perspective, and we both in this different in the age group that maybe that's not out there. So I wanted to hear what you got to say. But before you go, shout out to you, B Wet, for saying that. Last night, by accident, I'm flipping. It's a Friday night. I ain't got jack to do. And I'm coming across TV One. And I encourage anybody. I discovered, I've seen it before, but I rediscovered, I should say, Ready for Love, hosted by.
I used to watch that.
Steve Harvey show. It's funny. It's entertaining, but it's also disheartening in many ways to watch that this is what the dating scene. So to your point, Bert, what's being shown doesn't give me a lot of hope, because the new iteration, and it happens to be based in Philly. I thought of you in Honda last night because it showed the city and it's got that, and they kept saying, "Oh, this is how we do it in Philly," blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there just thinking, like, because they did Atlanta before, and I'm thinking, oh man, so I get to see a different women from a little bit up north. But this is where I want to go to my brother being Kenny, because I want to make sure our views aren't jaded. But looking at that, Kenny, do you feel like we're in a relationship recession?
Hell yeah, we are. Before we came on, I just said to you that it's nothing out here in these single streets but potholes and detour signs. Wow. And I say it jokingly, but I really say it really is disheartening for me, because I'll be honest with you, I just turned 56 a couple of weeks ago, and I had a situation that happened to me. I caught a Charlie horse. I hadn't caught one of them in decades, and I was I was by myself. It was so bad I had to lay on the floor for 10 minutes. I couldn't move.
No.
And that made me think, like, I'm single. I have nobody to help me.
I know what
magnesium. Let me help you. It's magnesium. Okay.
But if you're laying on the floor, Tasha, how the hell
I
I'm
feel you, Tasha, but I know what he's thinking in that moment.
But I'm thinking I'm at this age where my mortality is probably right around the corner. And I don't want to live the rest of my years on this earth by myself. I don't want to be single. But the single streets, what I've seen, what I've dealt with in social media and whatnot, I always, it is definitely depressing and disheartening, especially if you really truly want to find someone. And I really do. There's a lot of people out there that just playing around. They don't really, they just want somebody to, waste some time with, hit it and quit it or whatever. But I really do want to find somebody that I can share my ups and downs, my goals and my rounds and all that stuff with at this age. Because I've been single for a long time. I've been single since 2013. So it's been a minute. I hadn't been in a serious relationship since then. So yeah, it is disheartening.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Black, whenever it comes to you, will you tell how long it's been since you've been single? And I will say how long I've been single as well.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, I'm done.
So if I'm going to define single, look, when I first moved to Atlanta, I dated someone briefly. I don't know if that counts. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't last long. And I tried somebody else. But if we're going to do the numbers, as Ms. Mack is asking, it's going on 10 years.
Okay.
It's going on 10 years since I've been in anything close to being in a relationship with somebody. Now y'all know I do my thing, but in terms of a relationship, and I got divorced at the age of 30. I've turned 57 in January. So, and you look up, and I will have been in Atlanta on March the 1st, 10 years.
Wow.
10 years. It went by that quick. And so to sit and reflect that, it's been at least, let's just say 9 years since I've been in a relationship. So for you, Tasha, how long has it been?
6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 years.
That's a long time.
And so either way, because there was a time that you didn't see this long gap between being in relationships, and this article says how women are fine. So that's why I wanted to examine this. And then, of course, so I definitely believe in a relationship recession, because the more people I talk to, they're reflecting that hey, I'm good. There's so much going on, and we're going to go through some of it as the reasons and causes. But I'm kind of in between things. I, like Kenny, I want somebody, but I don't know if what I'm looking for is realistic, because I want somebody in a different way than Brother Kenny wants somebody. I want somebody part-time.
But what you wanting really is that's really the norm now.
And that's
what I want is not the norm.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, because that's
for y'all three. Let me ask you this one question, since I'm the married.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, and since you guys have not really been in a relationship for years now, is there any compromise, or does everything have to be a certain way? Because I know y'all are into your own deal right now, and to invite somebody into that portion of your life, you kind of gotta break some things up. Or would you be willing to do that for the right person? Or it's like, nah, they're the right person. They just gonna have to understand.
I'm dying to hear Tasha's answer on this.
Here's the thing. When I say I'm not looking, I'm just actively just not looking for anybody. I'm not opposed to it. Am I willing to compromise? Of course, because I know that you're gonna have to compromise on something. Now that just depends. That's very subjective, because it just depends on the person of what you're willing to compromise for.
Absolutely.
For me, whenever I say I haven't been in a relationship, I was in other unhealthy forms of relationships.
Right.
Time frame, So have I been like truly single? kind of, but you know, I was supplementing for a few years there. I was supplementing, okay? So, but
I like
I'm
that. I'm
not
about to steal that.
I'm not crazy in the sense of I know I may not get everything that I want, but yeah, I see that it's easy to stay like to yourself. Like it's easy to fall into that pit of comfort. You know, I call it is a pit of comfort. And I know that it would take an adjustment to bring someone else into it because it would be a complete shift from what I'm doing now. So.
I love how you as Kitty say, I'm gonna have to steal some of your vernacular because I just love, I don't know where you came up with that, but I love the description of pit of comfort. It really is. It completely describes where we're at. But go ahead, brother Kenny.
To answer your question, be wet. I definitely, I'm willing to compromise. You know, obviously, there's always going to be some things that's going to be right. You know, like I'm not going to do that. But I'm really open minded to whatever it is. As long as we can meet each other halfway, you feel me? As long as, and I said this to a particular person. I just want somebody that's into me just as much as I am into them. Real talk. It's really that simple. Okay. And then when you have that person that's into you just as much as you, everything will flow, in my opinion. Obviously, you have some bumps in the road, but I think if that person interest in you is just as much as you are into them, I think you can find that happy medium.
Okay. So we're going to go from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Okay, we're gonna flip the switch, y'all. Hold on, okay.
But I got to put my seatbelts on.
What you say?
I got to put a seatbelt on. This is the rabbit hole.
No. Okay. I just said that to say again, this is not me joking. This is me being completely serious. Of course, I'm willing to compromise, but unlike Kenny, they don't even have to be all that much into me. That's how much I'm willing to compromise. Wow. I am at a place where, to Tasha's terminology, I'm in my pit of comfort, and I don't necessarily want to give that up. I can sit here in all honesty and tell you, I don't necessarily want somebody to live with me, to be with me in that close proximity. I want companionship and I want sex, but I'm at a point at 57, I don't even have to have that. I just need that semi-regular. As I famously said, I can't be hoisting bitches up on a regular basis no more and putting out at that rate of speed. It's not in me. And so my compromise is, you ain't got to be all that into me. Be enough into me that come over here, act well enough, and we can get along. You don't even have to be as pretty as I used to use. I'm okay with your fucking stomach being a little balled up and your titties sagging and all that stuff. You don't have to have all that. I'm still an ass man, but you don't have to bounce a quarter off of it. But I need to at least to be able to get my grabbers on it to a certain extent.
You sound like Fred. You sound like Fred.
I'm just saying, I'm willing to compromise and let a lot of shit go because I look in the mirror every day and what I'm willing to give and bring, I'm being realistic at this stage. I hate looking at my fucking self in the mirror, so I don't know how you don't want to look at me. So we both need to keep our fucking clothes on and fuck. To be honest with you.
let me see if I can use one of my doggone special effects. Wait a minute.
Compromise, yes. I'm being brutally honest, and that's what scares me is that I don't know if that's realistic. I just don't know anymore if that's realistic to look at it that way. So.
But to piggyback off of what you're talking about, Black, I mean, that is really what I've noticed. I'm heavy on social media. I'm in different groups and whatever. And, this relationship conversation is one of the big keys that's always going to drive the conversation. And most of the comments that I read, especially women, because I read their comments more than the men, just to see what women are. Most women are wanting what you are talking about. They would rather have a long distance relationship. They'd rather have, he has his own, I have my own, and we might hook up once or twice a month. That's what
I truly hope, my
they
brother,
rather have.
that becomes the norm, because then that will create opportunities for me. So that's where I hope becomes a reality. And I hope it becomes a reality, because when I look at the numbers, I wanted to share the numbers that I feel like I'm squeezed in between when you talk about this recession. During a study, they said in the U.S., the marriage rate fell by 54% between 1900 and 2022. 54% dropped. But then when you look at the percentage of 16 to 18-year-olds who report having dated, they've also dipped below 50%. So I got to thinking, wait a minute, if people aren't interested in getting married anymore for the reasons Tasha mentioned and laid out in the very beginning of this, but even now, if it's starting when you're young, that they're not particularly interested in dating, where do I fit somewhere in the middle then to find that segment of, to what your point is, Kenny, that wants kind of what I want, because that's where the recession truly is squeezing this middle group, I feel like. What do you guys think about those numbers when you hear that? I know you're married, Brother Bird, but what do you think about that when you hear those numbers that we're not getting married anymore? We're not even talking about the success rate when you do get married. We already know that that's 50%, but we're just talking about people who even are looking to get married. As Tasha said, that's not even the goal anymore. It's not even on the plate anymore. And then the young generation that's popping out, they don't particularly care about dating.
I think it's telling. I think it's telling that what them numbers mean to me is that more people love is not as important to them anymore. It's about chasing the bag, and it's about status and financial prosperity. And it's not about building with one another anymore. I see it all the time where women's, and I pay attention to what women say, because they run the date. They run dating. Let's go and keep it honest. Dating is up to what the women want.
I agree.
We just trying to fit in.
I agree.
And women tend to, from what I've been reading, is they not here to help you build your dream.
That's why I certain age,
if you ain't built your dream and you are where you are by the time you meet me, you don't even need to be dating.
Wow.
And I see that, and that's kind of puts a lot of men like myself in a precarious position, because sometimes life happens. But I still want love. I still deserve companionship. I'm a good guy. Life was lifing. But you telling me that I don't deserve to date just because I might not have a financial status or want love or be married?
I'm so glad you said that. And Tasha, because Tasha, I want you to answer you can't answer for all women, but I want to hear the woman's perspective on this for sure. But beware, what do you think when you hear these numbers, and what are you seeing and maybe experiencing from single people you and Tana come across?
I think we also have to take into account now that in some places women are the breadwinner.
They are.
And we can't front. This is real talk, so a lot of times, and it's not like this, it's not with everybody, but a lot of times when you're the breadwinner, a lot of times it's like you wear the proverbial pants of the house. Or like, well, what you making now? You starting to compare incomes, and well, what you doing? What you about, the whole nine? So I wonder if that plays into some of the numbers, and then I wonder also what's playing in those numbers as well is the fact that on the man's side, can they handle a woman making more money? Is it a male ego? Is it hitting your pride, especially if she's not throwing it in your face? And willing to grow with you. Some men still can't handle that. Well, where you could be sitting over there and get into a disagreement, and then you'll dumb it down to, well, you think you all that because you making more money than me. You think I'm stupid. You think I'm worthless, and nobody has said anything to you like that. So I think there's a definite dynamic that's playing along here, and there's definitely an undercurrent of a lot of different things that's going on. That's having those numbers look the way they look, and I think. there's some conversations that folks just need to have. I think a lot of things are built off an assumption. Some people will show their hand right away, but I think there's just an assumption. I think we got to get back to communication and talking and seeing where you're at and what you're about, because you'll find out first date or just talking on the phone or whatever, you'll figure out what somebody's really about and whether that's your speed or whether it's not your speed. You know, man or woman, some people are willing to build with you. Some people are just not willing to go down that road, and that's okay. That's their right. They have a right to want to have things a certain way. You know, and there's always, and I'm going to say this, and I'll end with this. There's always somebody out there for you. You know what I mean? Just might take a little bit, you might have to dig a little bit deeper, and you might have to look a little bit harder, or you just might have to be yourself, and they just might come across your path.
I love everything you say. Don't disagree with any of it. And this is why I want to save Tosh for last, because while I love it, I don't know where we go to date anymore. Yeah. I don't know if they date intentionally like we used to date anymore. And if we're going to have this conversation, how do you have that conversation? Yeah. You know, those are my things. So where it puts Kenny in a precarious situation, he mentioned, because maybe some are looking at him like, you're not where you're supposed to be, whatever. But on the flip side of that, what if you are relatively financially stable, but you don't meet their standard in other areas? So, Tasha, what do you think, in your opinion, is driving these numbers, and how do you interpret it?
Well, I think, to begin, I would be curious to see, for this statistic specifically, for that 54%, how many out of that group were raised in a marriage? You know, like were raised like in a two-parent household, were raised where that was the example that they saw. Because if you don't see it as an example, or you don't see it anywhere around you, then maybe you do have a little bit of a jaded view, because that's being instilled. It's implicit. It's being instilled in you. You know.
Absolutely. Right.
I also think a lot that could be attributed to that, because the number really doesn't surprise me. The shift in overall culture of Western, you know, the Western civilization has changed significantly over the years. And even for us, I would probably say, I mean, I started rewatching Living Single again. Even then, like the woman of the 90s, you know, like that was the whole thing, was about singlehood and independence and everything. Right. You know, so this message has been preached for a long time. So it's trickling down to the different generations, to where now, with social media, with the messages that are being pushed out there, it's kind of like, there is no compromise. Don't compromise. Somebody does have to come to you fully all together with all their shit together. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because we're all a work in progress. And also, you can't, what you may have, like what your strengths are, that's not who you should be looking for. That's not the partner that you need. You need somebody who is going to be the opposite of you somewhere. I'm not saying dating a bum, somebody who has no will, no goals, who desires to do nothing, who's looking for everything as quick as possible, just taking advantage of people. I'm not saying that, but that idea of you have to come to me fully with everything, there's a flaw in that. And we're seeing it. We're actively living it. We're seeing what that's causing. And, you know, I hope at some point that this does, you know, like it changes and goes back, because there's a huge divide in many sects of what we're seeing. And in every facet of life, there's huge divides everywhere. And it's like, eventually, like, you're going to create a society where there's just all these little micro families everywhere, and nobody's like dealing with each other. You're going to push people to incest. Okay, if people don't get it together,
you led to my next point. And as I go into this, my question to the family is this: you led right into my next point, because this recession, I think, the global impact has been driven by culture, society. You know, the recent U.S. election showed just how divided we are on so many different ways. We couldn't agree whether we support a woman or a black woman, or believed in this, that, or the other. But even things that's like climate control, is it real? Does it, you know? And economically, we talked about the numbers, you know, how the workplace has changed with women working now and grinding, making their money. My question to you guys is, if things are cyclical, and I believe to a certain extent they are, because I've recently been posting how I love seeing how young people are discovering our music. You know, I posted a video just this week where a young guy, I got it from Kenny's page, a young guy was singing a hole in the wall song.
You
Johnny
know, Taylor.
and he put his own spin on it. And I love how they're going back, discovering our music in a sense, but making it their own. Do you think, Tasha, Kenny, if things are cyclical, and you mentioned living single, Tasha, do you think the pendulum will swing back before we get to what you just mentioned, where we've got these little micro aggressive motherfuckers running around here where nobody's dealing with each other? Do you think it will get back to a point where maybe?
I don't know.
You don't?
I honestly, I don't know. Like, you know, when we were last week, when we had the show, there were some questions, you know, like about like religion and everything.
Right.
I think if there's no commonality, there's no social view where everybody is able to, you know, rules that govern society, you know, just in general, just the being considerate and things like that. If we don't all like have a place to start at, I don't know, like when I think it's going to take something terrible, like a catastrophe, to where it might be too late. The rapture might be happening, and then y'all looking for each other. It's too late now. They done got everybody. It's too late.
You don't know how right you are, in my opinion, on that. But you know, what do you say, Brother Kenny? Do you think the pendulum will ever swing back to where there is an appreciation for all the things Bert talked about? You know, where we are having that conversation to see what we want, and to Tasha's point, recognizing that opposites attract and your strengths is my weaknesses and vice versa. What do you think?
I'm hopeful, Brother Black, my good brother, but I'm really pessimistic about it. I just think we so far gone now on the especially when we're talking about, you know, relationships. I think we so far gone now, the men versus women, who hurt who the most, what I won't put up with. I think it's so far gone. I think going back to just really truly wanting to love and get to know somebody, really, and we have no ulterior motives, and not all these requirements and a laundry list of what you have to have and do this. I think yeah, those days are done as far as the old way. You remember when we was in school, used to write the note, I like you, do you like me? You send it. It was that simple, right? It was that simple, right?
Right.
Them days done.
Here's why I agree with you 1,000%. I think we've lost that innocence and simplicity. I love that you even gave that analogy. And that's what scares me, is that even though they're discovering our music, Tasha and I have long talked about how creativity is dead. I think we've grown up now, and that where the world is now, where this popcorn microwave culture, that I don't know if we're going to ever slow down to go backwards anymore and take time to do that. So like you, Brother Kenny, it's a little bit of hope, but to Tasha's point, I think the rapture is coming first.
I think so. I think it will come first before that happens.
So I just, that's my fear, is that I do think we've gone too far. So when I think about the global impact of all these different things, I want to read something. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. And
I think Bert had to add something.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bert. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tasha.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody touched on it too, but you know, technology. Everybody's caught up and everybody's influenced so easily now. You know, I'll tell you the truth. I feel like a dinosaur. I'm not talking about what's going on, but because of how I'm a Generation Xer, so you know, we moved a little bit different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We looked a little bit deeper, and we were more like trying to get to know you more than all the other junk that's going on. And I don't know if it's going to get any better. I'm always the one that can be really optimistic, but on this front and how the way people are so easily influenced and caught up on looks and caught up on how this look or this person got to have this, that, and the third, when the influence probably don't have nothing that you even hoping for. But I
love that.
I don't see us getting out. I don't see the relationship getting out that hole. I don't see it.
So we all in agreement. And so I want to read a quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tasha.
I'm sorry, but I don't know. Is there on the article that you're looking at? Is there something on there that references social media? Because or technology? Because there is something I wanted to share with that, but I'll wait.
No, do it now. They don't. Please. And while she said this thought, I'm gonna turn my air on. I'm getting hot, but please, go, Mac, please.
So, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but like over like the last week, there was this story that's gone really viral. It initially started out on Instagram, but it migrated over to TikTok because TikTok pays. Of the girl who basically was like, "Am I wrong?" She basically met this guy and flew herself out. She met him, flew herself out, and was like, am I wrong? Because he didn't want to see her when he got there. He made up the excuse that, I have my daughter. I'm not gonna be able to see you. But she's like, I'm already here and everything. Well, the messages came out later on where, basically it kind of seemed more like he wasn't interested because he felt like he was catfished with her and she was coming on kind of aggressive. But also, like, she sent him like this, like a picture of like the throat spray and like the Listerine strips, and he was like, and asking him if he had ever had his butt ate, like basically like coming on like too strong. So that whole story has taken off and gone crazy on TikTok because, come to find out, he didn't see her because he was with another girl. He was with another girl, and that girl has since come out and told her story. Well, then his baby mama has come out and since, like gained up. But I was saying all that to say, with stories like these that are going viral, as being the, people either taking that time to, to get their story told, to get their 15 minutes of fame, to get that money, but also the overall influence of social media. To Bird's point and what he was saying, it's become sickening. There are two trends that I've seen on TikTok where it was women are saying, my husband was not my type, basically, but I married him anyway.
I saw that.
And then the other part of it was some guys on a podcast is, I love my wife, but I'm not in love with my wife. So those ignited conversations that where I understand what you were trying to do, but it didn't come across. And I think you did more harm than good. Gotcha. And when you're having those stories, when you're having those conversations and you're laughing and joking for people who aren't married or who aren't in serious relationships, you're making them like, you're not encouraging them wanting to do it. You're not being like here. And it's so easy now for everybody to just say, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a divorce and just move on. Like there's no drive, there's no incentive to stay in it, to stick through it, because people are like, why the fuck would I have to stick through it? I'm just gonna leave. It's just easier.
And you made a great point, and that piggyback off to what Bert was saying earlier about we're not seeing more examples of true love and romance and stuff working. We're not seeing more couples doing podcasts showing that their marriage is a beautiful thing. Being in love is a beautiful thing, and unfortunately, that doesn't get the views.
Well,
that stuff doesn't get the views. It's the dysfunction that people gravitate toward.
When those couples do have that platform, and when they do share that message, all they receive is hate and attacks. And as soon as something happens, I think that this is also the other part of it, like where the couples go on to tell everything, and it's like, oh, I knew you weren't shit. I knew this would happen. Don't do that. Don't do that. So
all of the points you made, I didn't want you to hold it back, because there are points literally in my presentation here that's in this article. It literally, that's why I said, Tasha, do you have a camera? Because it's just laying it out as you're going through it. And one of the things that caught my attention that even triggered the beginning of this, I love how they put it. It says that the resurgence of the far right, accelerating climate collapse, geopolitical instability, and deep economic precarity aren't exactly Marvin Gaye and Oyster vibes. And I laughed when I read that, because how can I feel lovey-dovey and romantic when I'm facing this uphill battle? Because when do I ever get to have this conversation? You know, a former colleague of mine, he told me to join BLK, and I joined it last week. Black Love app, and I'm going to talk about this as well. And I joined it, and boom, I got in a conversation with a young lady just yesterday. But it wasn't like the old way. Well, remember when you met somebody and it was a real conversation where you asked those questions? So tell me about this. It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
They don't like that. They don't like that now.
See, Tasha, so my thing was, I was so disheartened again, because I'm thinking, okay, number one, I was surprised that she actually wanted to talk and not just text. So I'm thinking, okay, this is good, right? We'll have a conversation. But to Tasha's point, that's not what she wanted to talk about.
What you want to talk about? What you want to talk about?
Tasha, what do they want to talk about?
So it's one of two things that they want to talk about. They either
see how accurate she is.
They either want to go down the route of finding out more about the man, his business, what he does, things like that, like going that way, or they super freaked out and they want to go the other way. Like, damn, man, you need to get off of this.
How about both? How about both? We completely bypass, in a quick conversation, we completely bypass, what do you do for a living? Are you educated? What's your views and values on children, on religion, on God, this, that, and that? It was about the grind and this, that, and the other. And so, where do you see yourself going with, building this castle because I'm looking for my king, this, that, and other. Then that was juxtaposed with pretty much, when, how soon can we get together and fuck? Bitch, I don't even know if those is your real teeth I'm looking at on this video.
Tasha. Question. Only you can answer this. What is up with the female super aggression now? Like, can you tap into that? Like, what's going on with that? Because remember, there was a time where a woman had to be reserved, and that was more for the man to be like that. What is this heavy transition now? Is it? I mean, like, what's the influence? Is it the music? Is it glow?
Before you answer, hold on, Tasha. Hold on, Tasha. Before you answer, because I want to bring that point up, because again, it's on my list.
Oh,
part of the relationship recession is the dating nightmares, where they've either become transactional, adversarial, or about self-preservation. And Tasha said that at the very beginning. So now, Tasha, I know you can't answer for all women, and I want to hear your thoughts, Cece, in here as well.
Yeah, I wish there was some more women on here.
That's why I was hoping Honda would have been here, because I wanted to hear their views, because this article is from the woman's perspective. Tasha, I want you to answer that. But real quick, Grown Woman says, marriage today is a business. Most people go into marriage for economical reasons. Love is not the foundation for marriages anymore. Now, Tasha, Bert's question is right on time, that part of this recession is what's become a dating nightmare, I can say, for men, is the question he asked. What's driving? Help us.
I would say from the things that I've seen and just like listening to like other women, what really pushed it was out of this super push movement of independence, boss bitch, boss culture, like you running shit like it's your shit, like you're the shot caller, it's on your terms, everything is for you, it's all about you, you're the prize. It's selfish is what it is. It's not about having a relationship. It is extremely self-serving. What can someone do for you? What are they willing to do for you? And maybe you could, make the argument that it is like with the music, because there is the whole boss thing in in the music. Now, first of all, we're not gonna talk about my girl Glorilla, okay? I love Glow. Glow don't preach that message, okay?
Oh,
So we're not gonna slander
boy.
Glow, okay? I'll give you like
Go,
Lotto and
Glow.
them. Don't talk about Glow like that.
Go, Glow. I love it.
Okay.
But even more to Cece's point, it is transactional. It is about, about signing the paper, because marriage is a business. We hear that so much now.
Right.
It's not even so much about liking the person. It's just finding somebody that you can tolerate long enough that may already came built with everything you need, or who is willing to just follow your lead, give you what you need in that meantime, and then move on. It's just it's self-preservation. That's all it is.
I was watching the show last night, and that's what was disheartening, Tasha. It really wasn't about them trying to connect and get to know each other. They're trying to make an instant
power couple.
Right, because that's what's shown. And so the way they were dressing, the dates they were going on, it wasn't about actually getting to know the person. They figured out a microcosm way of skipping all of that. And you know what I'm saying? Do you want to have a castle? I want to have a castle. What kind of car? And and so do we fit in that sense? It's crazy. Grown Woman says people have forgot that relationships are built on trust, not just carnal feelings.
People don't trust anymore.
I agree with you.
That part too.
That's the part that's a shame, that people can't trust anymore. That's bad. That's really bad, because that's half the battle right there. It's lost. Over half the battle is lost right there. If I can't trust you, I don't need to be around you.
Hence, Bert, why I said, and I wasn't kidding about my realistic approach, is that you don't even have to like me all of it. I've given up that somebody's going to be weepy-eyed over my fat ass at this stage.
But see, I'll push back against you on that, Brother Black, because
he's the other side of me.
I think that's a simplistic part of a relationship.
I agree with you.
You want to like your mate, and that's just so simple, and that ain't got nothing to do with your physical. I just want to like.
I'm just saying, you just need to like me enough to don't fuck me over.
Again, but I will push back. I think we all want our significant other to like us. Now, we ain't gonna like each other every day, obviously, because we know we human. But at the simplest form, just like that letter we wrote in the 4th grade, I just want my woman to like me.
I love, and that's why we're Janus. He's facing the other way on this Capricornian journey, because for me, I'm okay. Look, I don't need to know. Look, bring that pussy in here clean. Get it washed out and soaked in Epsom salt and the powders before it gets here. When them musty drawers come off here, I don't want to smell nothing. And again, I just need you for them precious few hours. I ain't gonna be beating that pussy all night again. I need about good 30 to 45 minutes in that pussy. If it don't smell within that time frame, you get a thumbs up from where I sit.
My brother, boy, my twin. Hey, to those that watch this, we were split at birth, just to let you know. We twins, but we damn so we on the flip side.
As usual, since Hannah, she walked in on like, what the hell I want to do?
Right.
What's up, Hannah? How you doing, love?
So Cece says that's what is shown today. Everybody wants to be a power couple. You can be a power couple without just wanting to race to see who gets the bag first. Relationships have become a rivalry. Yeah. I agree. I'm just scared, CC, that
you're right.
I don't know if we're taking the time to get there anymore. So, you know, the lady was like, well, call me today. She live in Kennesaw, and she's like, call me today. I firmly believe that as long as I tell her all that she wanted to hear, I could be fucking tonight.
What app did you? Now, what app was this, Brad?
She didn't say what app.
That ain't where you go find what you looking for. Okay.
My brother, it's called BLK. and they got some bad.
Oh, okay.
They got some bad bitches.
Hey, hit your twin up in the messenger.
I got you, brother. And a friend of mine, just so you know, my boy, he said, because we were just talking about something else, and I was like, man, I said, look, I'm out the game. He said, look, man, have you tried Be Okay? He said, I fuck every time I get on that. Okay.
Oh boy. God,
now,
man.
I didn't. Real talk though, I didn't get on there to knock. Right, I swear on God, on the souls of my two brothers, I thought legitimately, to this point of this conversation, I'm yearning. I thought I was going to get it. I thought it was going to be difficult to get a woman to actually give her number so that we can have a conversation. So I leaned back in the bed thinking we was getting ready to have a conversation that in my mind, I envisioned it taking a few weeks to us getting to a point where she might want to meet, because let's see if we got something in common. To this point, it became transactional, and it was about the bag, and then it got freaky, Tasha. And this was a woman, now mind you, now she's 50 years old.
Oh,
yeah.
So this wasn't a young girl, because I'm legitimately call myself trying to find somebody in my age bracket, because I wasn't going on there to knock. But now, after trying it for a few times, if I see that this is what it's going to be, I will use it just to fuck. But I'm trying not to use it for that.
People too freaked out now. They freak. They
definitely are.
You freaked out at 50?
Oh, they freaked out at all ages now.
That's
at
crazy.
all ages.
He was 50.
The freak should be out.
You know, she told me her husband died. She has 2 teenage daughters. They're 16. She said that look, at this stage, she deserved this and deserved that, and she ready to wild out. Yeah, she ready. You know, in essence, Brother Kenny, that she at this stage, she really want to know, am I pretty much ready for to go there? That you want to go out and do this and that. And so again, if we can be this power people, yeah, she bypassed all that shit, you know. Grown said she
married to her husband her whole life.
She gotta relax.
No, I'm saying she might have been married to that one person.
Hey, Kiana, how you doing?
So you know, sometimes if you're married or committed to someone so long, she might have been married for her whole life. And now that she's finally got something new, she ready to let loose, which is not good at 50. But
I get it. But I'm just saying, we're talking about a relationship recession. If you're joining us late, and I think a part of this relationship recession is that the dating has become a nightmare. So that's where we were talking about, and Tasha was just kind of laying out how, you know, social media and technology, but we were talking about how we're in this recession now, but a part of it is dating is a nightmare. And again, I think for both sides, you know what I'm saying? We as men, Kenny said at the beginning of the show, we're not in control of this. We don't get to say anymore. Them days, Kenny, you say about passing a note. We also are past them days where you can reach out and touch a woman's arm and say, hey, spit on the. You're going to get cursed out. If you hold the door. We talked about this. You have to wait to be chosen. And again, it becomes a part of the dating nightmare, because to you and Tasha's point, what's being shown? We don't see evidence of simple dates anymore. I wish that becomes normalized. We see those stories about somebody saying they don't want to go to a cheesecake factory, but what happened to going on simple dates to have coffee, meeting at a place to have a quiet conversation? That's not mentioned anymore, you know. So I don't know what to do. Cece says people really don't date anymore. They're looking for situationships, not relationships. And that's where, for me, I've compromised, CC, and that's where we asked the question earlier about a bird asking what we compromise. Bird, I'm there. I never, if you asked me this 10 years ago, I would not have been open to a situationship.
Right.
But I am now, because I feel so glum and gloom about where we are when it comes to dating. You know, so all right, we talked around it, but I just wanted to show you guys that this was all a part of in it as well. That the dating apps have become a factor in creating this recession, because it says that 78% of the respondents in a recent Forbes survey felt emotionally and mentally or physically exhausted by dating apps.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're over. It's too much. It's over. It's an overload.
I was absolutely going to ask, why do you think? So I want you to go a little further there, Tasha. Technology is supposed to make things better, ideally, right?
Right.
To increase efficiency and this, that, and the other. Why do you think it doesn't work? Why do you think overwhelmingly? What's led to this? Do you guys think? And I'm glad now we got another woman on the panel. And Cece, thank you for being active and giving us your view. Why do you think overwhelmingly it's being discovered that dating apps just don't work?
Because it's, like whatever profile somebody decides to put up, whatever pictures they decide to use, however they decide to communicate with you after, if it's just like a simple swipe, you're getting a snapshot of somebody where it truly may not be who they are. And so you're swiping, you're scrolling. You can only scroll for so long before because you keep thinking that, something better is going to come up, or they're looking for an exact match. And it's so when they don't find it, they're just like, it's like being on Netflix. It's too much. Like,
thank you.
Fucking somebody give me the top 10 and let me pick out of that.
Thank you for that.
So
Tasha knows that about me. I can't stand to see too many choices. It frustrates me. And Tasha, do you notice how I pick my movies? Give me the top 10 movies. I just want to look at those. But if I have to exhaustively click, and I love your point where you said you keep hoping for something better to come up. Psychologically, that is a thing. But okay, guys.
I wanted to add one more thing to that too. Also, and people may laugh or people may say it's offensive, but I also think that there is an influx of people who were in special classes that are mixing with the regular people, and they weren't taught like those certain feelings. So I think that that's probably what it is too. A lot of like mental issues too. Like you weren't taught anything to regulate anything. So
I never thought about that.
I've never been on a dating app, but I agree. That's how social media. That's social media.
Straight up.
Really?
I never thought of that.
You gonna throw shade at people that rode the short bus?
I'm not saying people who were like mentally, like mental retardation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who in schools, what do they call them now? IEPs. People who were on IEPs that were never taught anything, that are mixing with regular people in everyday life, and they weren't taught any other ways of coping, and now they're trying to mix with regular people, and they're having kids, and it's creating a weird generation. So
wow. Who is the person on social media? I don't know the name, but he's in my feed. He's a he, just so you know. It's a guy, he a young guy, and he got a kind of fucked up hunched body. I don't know if he's in anybody else's feed.
Damar.
That's his name. What's his name?
Who?
Damar.
It's a guy with a hunched up kind of fucking body. He has
like scoliosis. Shamar, he was really popular. He was on like a lot of reality TV shows, but really he got his big break when he was on Divorce Court with Judge Toller. That's how he really got his start. So
the only reason I'm bringing him up is to Tasha's point. I don't want to be on. First of all, this hunched up motherfucker done found love, and I can't find love. So
tell me about
it. See, that's the thing,
know, right?
He has been in multiple relationships, and those people are taking advantage of him.
I agree.
And things like that.
But, no, that's clear. But I'm saying, Tasha, they need their own fucking lane. Just like you have handicap spots, and those fucking people should be out after 6 o'clock because
oh my gosh,
I've always felt
really
this way.
Black.
You got all day to park in those handicap spots, so you should do all your shopping and shit before 6 o'clock. Because after 6 o'clock, you had no business being in the store anyway. So hunched up Shamar, he need his own motherfucking. They make a dating app for over 50. This and that. They should have a dating app just for afflicted motherfuckers. So again,
what?
You know what?
Kiana says amen.
Tasha, Y'all need like a control. Like when he starts going on these rants, and it should be his theme song should be Highway to Hell.
I could push, but I couldn't. I was looking for a button. I could.
I ain't saying they don't need to find love, but they need their own lane. You know what I'm saying? If I'm flipping, Tasha's right. I don't want to see it. And it's and mixed in with the regular folks, even on BLK, is you flipping, and you see somebody like, oh shit, how did she get in here? You know what I'm saying? So these motherfuckers definitely need their own lane.
He's talking about something different than what I was talking about.
Kiana said, "Go to sleep, Black." She said she told you to go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Hey,
go to bed.
See, these motherfuckers are afflicted with something. They not like regular folks. Kendrick Lamar said they not like us.
Go to bed. Turn the lights off.
Okay, immediately. Wow. Immediately.
But a big part of it. If you want to go back to a big part of it, and this is a major part though, people lie, including me. I was asking, why don't you think dating apps? I assume, CC, that everybody's lying on there. I think that's a big reason why. But I go into it with that idea that everybody's lying. You know, I know in reality this bitch don't ride horses. Come on, that you ain't never even seen a horse. You know what I'm saying? Just because your legs is gapped open. Well, I'm just saying that's the point. Just because this bitch legs is gapped open like a horse been up in her. I know you ain't rode no horse. A lot of soldiers been in that pussy, but you ain't rode no horse. I'm just saying.
Oh boy.
Grown woman says that's not.
Boy.
Here we go. Everybody lies, so you damn right. I know. First of all, you think I'm gonna tell the truth on a dating app when these bitches got fake hair, fake eyelines, everything? You better sleep with this bitch and get up out of your house before 3 o'clock in the morning, because if the sun catch this bitch, you might turn over and figure out you with a man. You better get that bitch up out of there. I'm just saying.
I would have figured it out. It was a man well before at 3 o'clock in the morning, because now you done did some things and ain't no taking it back. Now you got to identify different. Okay.
But you know, I would say about dating apps, I think it's good and bad it's good and bad in anything, and I think dating apps have been some good too, because I can personally speak that I know two couples that met on a dating app, and they are married now and happily married. So I think I want to flip this back to what we were saying at the beginning. I think if we promote more of the positive, more so than the negative, I think that we can find love even on the dating apps. Again, I'm not saying don't go on there. I say this all the time. Follow your heart, but take your brain with you. If you're gonna be on this dating apps, make sure you dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Again, like you say, Brother Black, everybody ain't being truthful on these apps. So
and I also
you're right. So, and you can't assume that, but I do think that dating apps, I think because of the world we live in, it's made it a little bit more easier for those that may be introverts, that may not like to go out. Mm-hmm. This is an easier way for them, those that want to meet somebody. They can just get on this dating app and say, "Okay,
I got a question, brother.
You know, that's just my take on it.
This is just a question, brother.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on an app, what percentage of the truth do you assume that the woman is telling? I'm just curious for you.
Oh, for me, I would say this. I think more men lie on these apps than women. Be honest with you, because I think that's even in real life. And when you just going out meeting dudes lie quicker than women do. But I would say I think the percentage of women that may not be telling the whole story, I would probably say maybe 40% of them.
Wow. I love him. I genuinely love Brother Kenny.
Because I think men lie more than women.
You balance me out. I think we tell more lies, but I think women tell bigger lies. And you balance me out, Brother Kenny, because
I don't agree with that. I think women lie better. Women lie more than men.
No. But see,
that's what I said. Don't forget your question.
You said on the dating apps, who do you think women
this is why I said I love him, because Kenny, I'm the exact opposite.
But I want to address Ghost. The question was on dating apps. he asked me far as
What
profiles and what they putting on there. Do you think women lie more than men? Actually, I think men lie more than women on those dating apps. Now, you said that women lie better. Oh, I agree with that, but that's not the question. That's not the question Black asked.
So I want Tasha to answer her question because Kenny, I feel the exact opposite. I think
they die on them apps.
My percentage that I think women lie is for me is as high as 75%. That's how I go into it. Tasha, you had a question. I want you to forget.
I did. I just had a question for Bert and Hannah. Did you guys, before you guys got married, were you guys on a dating app?
Ooh,
and if something were to happen and you two were no longer together, would you join dating apps to look to be in a relationship?
Great question.
That's an interesting question. Good question.
I'm not speaking negative will be a marriage.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'll go. I've never actually been on a dating app. And just because when I met Bert, I was on my F nigga stage. And I was divorced too. So like I really wasn't trying to be with really any, I dated in between, but I wasn't trying to really be. So I never joined the app because I'm just I need to see who you are. I don't need your representative. People show their representative on the first date, but I need to know because I don't know if you come in here and you a serial killer. Like who if you put somebody else in your profile picture and then Ted Bundy show up? Like I don't know who I'm meeting, who's not on there. So I need to actually know. So no, if Bert died, then no, I'm just not gonna be in these streets. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be in the app because I just don't trust people.
That's what's up. That's
beautiful though.
Yeah, I don't trust people. I just be single out here half naked, teasing. But
wow. Brother B, what you got?
For me, no.
You never been on the app?
I've never been on the app ever. And to tell you the truth, like I never would. Like after this, if it didn't work out, which I pray to God that's not the case.
Right. If it didn't work out,
I'm not.
Y'all good. Y'all good. Ain't nothing happening.
I'm
y'all
good.
Gonna roll this thing out.
I'm good.
He was talking about like if you died, he was gonna be half naked too, Hannah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I gotta be on chill mode.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's
once again, y'all truly is why y'all my favorite couple. Y'all just insane,
one of my favorites, for sure.
And just hearing that you've never even tried that, when I grow up, I want to be y'all too. I love that.
I got trust issues. I don't trust.
I'm curious. I've never done a dating app. Never.
Oh, you haven't
never done it.
Oh,
never.
Had you ever thought?
Remember we talked about trust earlier in the show? No, I don't trust. I don't trust like that.
You never thought about it?
And I get why Tasha wouldn't do it.
Now I just wanted to hear her say it, and I could not see her doing it.
That's what I said. I get Tasha. I get why
you never thought about it.
No, joining one. No, I've never even thought about joining one.
I cannot picture her. I can't picture her.
I couldn't either. But I
says I've never done one. I've never thought about it. People too crazy out here for all that. Again, some of you are fortunate that you don't have to do that. Look, I'm a fat
but again, I know. I want to say
Yeah.
this. I know success stories from people that met on dating apps. I really do. I know them personally. I got a friend, Joseph Dixon, who runs a dating app, Real Black Love dating app, that is very successful. That has made a lot of matches. So again, I think, it has to work for me. Everything ain't gonna work for everybody. So, but it's
not in the sense that a meeting, it works in terms of if I want to meet somebody. So it does for me what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all on apps? You and Kenny, y'all on apps?
I'm on app. I just joined.
They selling it. They
selling it. ChristianSingles.com.
No.
The biggest host
freak out on the app.
Christian Mingle is the host.
Somebody got killed.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So I just recently joined BLK, and my intentions were pure. I guess it's black. It's called BLK for black, I guess, or something. I don't know what it stands for. But I recently joined, and I had a conversation with a lady yesterday. She was 50 years old, and it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Now, again, this is just my first experience. So I don't want to just kill an app based on that. But it was for this conversation. It was that it clearly for me was triggering that this would be a dating nightmare because it wasn't a conversation that was about getting to know you. It was very much transactional, and then it got freaky. And for a woman that's 50 years old, I wasn't expecting that. But again, this is my very first experience off of the app, But to this point, I think dating apps haven't worked because of like the numbers show it's exhausting. And Tasha made all these good points. Psychologically, when you are swiping, you are looking for the next best thing. Even if I saw somebody I like, what am I still swiping for? Because you're right, Tasha.
Right.
I like you. Pipeline. Exactly. So I think fundamentally and psychologically, it's already creating a situation where even if I liked you, I'm hoping to see somebody better, or I'm padding my options that even if I do like you, I still want this one waiting in the wings. So the numbers definitely have shown that the dating apps, even though it's technology, and to Kenny's point, technology can be good. It really can. It's how you use it. But it's definitely created a part of this recession when it comes to relationships. So, and here's the one I wanted to bring up and really get to, because I'm making sure. We said at the top of this show, Hannah, you missed this. And Kiana, you missed this. Most people now are finding, and this article is written, the name of the article, just so you know, that I'm basing this off of, it's called We're in a Relationship Recession, and a lot of women are absolutely fine with that. We've established that for a lot of women, they're starting to, they're fine with being okay and single, and they're not necessarily looking, And so that's what's led to where we're at. So we're now seeing an epidemic of loneliness, though, because of this. I want to get a comment in real quick, and I want to kind of talk about that with a few comments. Kiana says she never joined that. She says, plus, I ain't that bored and desperate. That's what I feel like apps is for. Now, wait a minute now, baby.
Oh, wait a minute, went too that far.
No. I'm just challenging one part of it. I don't think everybody that goes on apps is desperate.
Yeah, I don't think that either.
Yeah, I
don't think that.
Who doesn't like a free lunch? Here's my Kiana, baby. Who doesn't like a free lunch? I'm an old lion and I can't run that fast. And if you're offering me free pussy served to me on a plate, that's not desperation. No, I see where you're coming from, baby. So you're saying it's desperation for women. I don't even think women are on there because they're desperate, Kiana. I think the technology part of it is that for some people, they initially viewed it as a great way to be at home, not put themselves in danger, and to have those options. What started out, I think, is a great thing. It's just, to Tasha's point, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And then, of course, all these other factors, people lie, this, that, and the other. And again, you're fortunate, Kiana. I happen to know her. So, yeah, you could offer dick every day of your life, so you don't have to join an app, She says, no, I'm saying for some people, not for everybody. For some people, they're bored and they're just desperate because they're there's definitely many people out there that they rather not be alone. And then there's this other segment, that don't mind being alone. So I want to share something with you guys. It says that in the U.S. is experiencing an epidemic of loneliness, according to the Surgeon General. And the age group from 16 to 24 is at particular risk because they reported being chronically lonely. And then it says, but I don't think that maps out neatly to rising rates of singledom. A bad or falling relationship can feel like the loneliest place on earth. So maybe that's where these numbers are driving it. But do you guys think that this is also adding to the fact that for many people, they're lonely and they don't know what to do? And maybe to Kiana's point, maybe that's what drives them to apps, which we now probably don't really work.
Possibly.
Kiana, I love being alone, baby. I love by myself. Are you alone though? Do you have somebody? Are you alone?
Loneliness has such a negative connotation to me. I always think of like lonely is, just very sullen and, just withdrawn and just sad because you do want that connection. I don't ever feel lonely. That's my I get for me. I don't ever feel lonely. I'm by myself, but I don't ever feel lonely. Like I'm truly content being by myself.
I love what you said, and Grown Woman Don't Try Me says there is a difference in being alone and being lonely.
I agree.
I agree 1,000%. Kiana says, I love being alone. I love myself. Kiana, you make a beautiful point. There's many people, and we discovered this when the pandemic hit, that don't like themselves, don't like their own company. And they just don't, they would rather be in a toxic relationship than to be in their own company. But like to Tasha's point, Tasha and I, we make this shit look easier than it is because we're not lonely. We are alone. Yeah. I look forward to closing this computer. When I get off from this show, the greatest thing about this is that I know that I can take myself. I get to live this selfish lifestyle. Now, again, we're not talking about having some companionship every now and then, but I'm like Tasha, I'm not alone. I'm alone. And sometimes there's those moments where I don't want to be alone. But I enjoy, anybody who knows me, I love my solitude for sure.
I missed the question. I see it was about epidemic of loneliness. So
it just was talking about how even statistically, how there's a lot of people, and in particular, I said a group that's at particular risk, once again, is 16 to 24, that they feel they report a chronic loneliness. Now, it says that could be driven because when they break up with someone that they feel like they all alone, their world has come to an end. And I do think when you get older and you've been through a few breakups, you know that, hey, your world ain't coming to an end. But in that age group, maybe they do feel, oh my God, I'm never going to find another person, this kind of shit,
I find that surprising because I would think at that age, you'd be like, okay, we broke up, whatever. Who's next? Next up.
I believe it, Kenny. I've seen it. I believe it. I believe it. Go ahead, Tasha.
I just saw a video earlier of this guy. Like he was a younger dude, and he was crying. Like he had posted
I'm glad she said that. It's not just women. It's men.
Okay. He was crying. This is a young black dude. Like he was very good looking, but he was crying, and he was like, I just got off work, and I realized like I don't have anybody to talk to. Like I don't have nothing. And like, of course, like people were in the comments, like encouraging him. But for some people, being alone, they're not built for it. They're just not built, and it's okay because I do think people in general, like we're packed people. We're supposed to be with someone else, like we're supposed to have that. But also, like as far as like the age, like the 16 to 24 group, relationships in all facets, not just romantic relationships, are things that are a lot of effort is not being put into those anymore. And it's a lot of people are finding themselves that they don't have a foundation. Familial relationships, just regular relationships that you earn through school and regular socialization, people don't have that. So yeah, they are lonely. So then they may go to the apps looking for companionships or whatever. There's a whole app that's dedicated to like meeting people, like just generic like friendships. It's called table something. I don't know. It's like basically it's like where you meet, like groups meet for dinners in different cities. It pairs you with random people, but it's called table something. But that's a way that people are growing their network and things like that. So,
and I want to comment on that, Tasha. I want to comment on that and to drive the point further home, Kenny, why I believe those numbers. When you see the suicides that are happening, you see them in that age group, and it's not just women.
Yeah.
For that age group, I'm glad Tasha brought up not just romantic relationships. Friendships are really, really important to young people in that age group.
Right.
And I'm 57, and I look at these young people now, and they're taking these trips and going in groups and this, that, and the other, and we hear these horror stories sometime of they leaving each other behind. When they fall out of friendships, it impacts them on such a level. When we come from this generation where we traveled alone and we only went in a small group or just us, but they think of their pack, and then their identity is tied so much into their group. To Tasha's point, how many friends they have, how many likes they're going to get. And so they're devastated in many cases. And that's why I think those numbers are really true. I have friends that I talk through because their children, men and women, I've had to mentor them. I've had female friends of mine, well, can you talk to my son, this, that, and other? Because, and you have to, it's amazing that I've had to have a conversation with a young man that's 21, 22. Man, there's going to be other women. You know what I'm saying? And, but yeah, you don't understand, because it used to be only girls, that, oh my God, I'm devastated. He don't want me. But to your point, Kenny, I think in many cases now the girls are running things. They have a lot more options, and so I get it for some of these people that loneliness. And the other last part I'll tie in there, they haven't mastered the art of being alone in the first place. They grew up in a generation where they haven't had a rotary phone. They have 24-hour TV. Their identity is tied to technology in of itself. We can sit in a quiet room and do nothing. We can take a fucking nap and read a book and go take a walk and do some shit. Hannah and Bird, I know you want to jump in and go.
Hey, Black,
yeah, I want to jump in too, but I'm gonna let them go too. Go ahead.
Think the generation X, I think we were like Pharaoh. We were like Pharaoh because remember, like our moms and dads was like, y'all, if y'all don't go out the house and go do something, y'all don't know what we got into. You know what I mean? I used to take bike rides with the homies, and man, we were all over the place. And you know what? I had to start to readjust my thinking to the way everybody is right now, because I was so much trying to compare to how the way it was when I was growing up. We were totally 180, possibly 360. Like we were different growing up, man.
Absolutely.
We were really different. No seat belts. We were just out here. We was out here bugging. And it's like, long as we made it back, if they call your name, you better be back on that porch, or you better be back up in the crib. That was it. You go out, do whatever. Your parents wasn't even worrying like that.
Absolutely. Hannah, before you go real quick,
we're built different.
We were. And so I don't know what we could talk about the contributing factors that led to these young people not being as prepared socially, psychologically, So, Tasha raised a question in the very beginning when we talked about the numbers from the very beginning. How many of these people are growing up in households where they haven't come from two-parent households or stable environment where they saw relationships that work? So this could be having a great impact on how they view things. Cece says, your siblings were your first friend. That has taught our generation what real friends are, in my opinion. Absolutely, Cece. I come from a pack of 11. So,
and that's funny that Cece that she put that, because I was getting ready to go down that route. I was the only child for 8 years. Wow. So I didn't have a sibling. And our age difference made it where we really didn't grow up together. So I did a lot of stuff and had imaginary friends by myself. You feel me? Because I was the only kid. So I've always been used to kind of doing stuff by myself, because I was the only kid for so long. But I would say this.
Wow.
I'm sick. I enjoy myself. Believe me, I'm sick of my damn company. I want to try some of these jokes out on somebody that I love. I got a lot of jokes for your ass. Bring your ass on over here so we can go get this popping. So again, I get it. I can function being alone.
Right.
I go out to bars by myself. I've done that. Again, I grew up as the only child until my younger brother came. But I damn sure is sick of hearing me tell myself these damn jokes, these great ass jokes I got to myself. So that's just my opinion, though.
My brother, that I understand because I talk to myself. I understand. I really do. I really do. Cece says, I had 5 brothers, and sometimes I like my imaginary friends better.
You ain't never lied.
I get it.
And Kenny, remember Underoos?
I get it.
Yes, indeed. I get it. I truly do. I truly do. So let's talk about the last point, at least I got here, where I think that's been a contributing factor to the relationship recession. And that's a part of it. We started at the beginning where women are okay with it, but I want to bring it in a broader sense. Do you think there is an overall prevailing satisfaction, more so now than ever before, with just simply being single and loving? And not go ahead, Tasha. Go ahead, Tasha.
Yes, there is definitely a satisfaction of it. And I alluded to it earlier by simply saying, now that's come up either out of just being hurt from a previous relationship, just like previous hurt, and just not wanting to put yourself out there, or just you see what is going on out there and you be like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to be stressing over where he's at, who he's talking to, is he in another bitch's face? Well, where the fuck you go? Because you said you was going here, but you really wasn't there. How you know I wasn't there? Because I was outside, you weren't there.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Thanks, Tasha.
I know that's right.
There is a sense of peace with not having to follow up because of that lack of trust that people have, because of all the horror stories that are going on out there. So yeah, it's definitely it's less stressful in that sense, you know, because we've seen in several other studies that women in marriages and things like that, life expectancy is a lot shorter than when like when you're single. So sorry, I had a flashback right there.
No.
You be great.
That's it. I can tell, Big Mac. That's it.
Left us. I was like, all right, I'm gonna let her go.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up.
I'm not going to stop your flow. I'm not going to stop your flow. Kiana said, hell, yes. And I'm in a relationship. Ain't that some shit? So we don't understand. And I want to read something before you guys go about to really drive the point home. It says there was a study conducted between 2018 and 2023 that found that single women reported higher relationship satisfaction being single, and higher sexual satisfaction, and being on average happier in singlehood than men.
I saw that same thing.
Especially with the birth of the rose. Hell yeah.
Damn.
With the introduction of the rose.
Really? Oh boy.
Damn. I'm gonna leave that alone. Kiana says, you got too much time on your hand, Tasha. Enjoy yourself. Don't run after him.
Right. That's why I don't do that no more. I don't do more.
Hey, fellas, Hannah, I'm gonna let you go next. But fellas, I want us to think of a retort, since you said, especially since the rose.
I'll say, I mean, I am married, but I'll say, I feel like it's sometimes people are happier.
Really, Yana? Really, Yana?
Not too.
Oh, I think it's some.
No. She's talking about that. Yeah, really. Okay, but go ahead.
Oh boy.
Can I call you Rose?
Right.
Oh my.
I can say that sometimes women marry and they are more of a mother than a wife. So I can see how that factor. If you marrying not for companionship, if you marrying a child and you gotta tell them when to eat, tell them when to pick up their clothes, that's exhausting. So I can see how a lot of people who marry someone who's not mentally of age to be in a relationship, or was baby or a mama's boy, or didn't have the responsibility growing up. So you're marrying a child. You're marrying a child So of course it's draining. You would rather be by yourself. But I'll even say when you're married, also it's okay to have. Now, don't take this the wrong way. Single moments, and I'm not saying act like you a hoe in these streets. I'm saying get a man cave, like separate. Like it's okay to be in a house.
I know what you're talking about.
Underneath each other, but all day.
I know what you're talking about.
And like some people get married, and like I want to be in your skin. I don't want to be in your skin. I have my own. I'm not born a conjoined twin.
Thank you for sharing that.
My own skin. I don't need to be up your butt and around three corners.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so
and
I
that's
feel
coming
like
from a married woman. Thank you.
Yeah, it can be mentally draining sometimes if you, especially some people that come from something that they, you know, how people get in a relationship and they forget they got friends, they forget they got family,
right.
And then when you get single, you like, well, heck yeah, because you were engulfed in someone else's instead of your own. So it's okay to be single and married, and I'm not saying hoe, I'm saying married to have separate but together things, and it's okay to be single. I feel like, you know, because I mean, sometimes you mentally need to be there.
I love that. Brother B, speak on it, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just piggyback off of what she's saying. Like, you know, you do.
She's like, no, I'm playing.
You gotta, you just gotta have your space. It's okay to have your boundaries too.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what? And that just comes with a level of maturity and understanding, and just knowing who you with. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. When you're getting into a relationship, you know, that's where communication comes in, understanding who the person is. And I think that's probably part of the reason why a lot of people don't want to be in relationships, because they want to put all that hard work into it to figure somebody out and stuff like that, and try to, you know, the nuances of a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, it's just not going. You know, you sometimes you just don't want to be up on somebody all the time. It's all right. They don't mean they don't love you.
Absolutely. True. When I was married, we had our own separate room and separate space for that reason. You know, I knew I was in the room. You know, she had a little day bed, and my wife was a reader, and she Mariah Carey was her thing. And again, I had my own space, and that's what kind of made it. Even in the same house, you wanted to have a little space.
And Black, you know what? Because she likes murder. I like.
Oh my Lord! I like ID channel.
I like anime.
I like ID channel.
That's what's up. So you have to have that room to still do your own thing.
Yeah, she loves murder.
Tiana says, "I like that, sis. Still need your space. You still need your individuality."
Yeah.
And CC says, "I agree, Hannah. I have my own space in our home. It's a good time when we are together." Yes. You guys have successfully been able to navigate this and make it work. And that's why I appreciate you sharing this, you know, because again, I think sometimes there is a misconception that you're supposed to be together 24/7. I know everything about this person, that person, and that can drive away.
Let me learn something new.
Yeah,
let me learn something new.
About the individual. Tiana, be married. It's okay.
Yana, I saved me and Kenny for last because we're going to address your box of toys. If he don't, I'm going to address your box of toys. But go ahead.
I'm going to let you tackle
you got to address the box of toys.
I'm going to let him tackle that fishing box. I ain't got nothing to say about that. I don't know nothing about your box of toys.
Well, Tasha did say that basically this singleness is greater because of the roles. So that's what.
She damn sure did.
The years that you laid out, 2018, 2023, I want to say that's when it came out.
It did.
Well, that's when it came out. Yeah. So that's what I'm like, that time frame, hell yeah, it does what it needs to do.
That's why I got something to say about that goddamn rose. But go ahead.
I'm sick of that damn rose. Hell.
Why?
The only rose I knew about growing up was Wild Irish Rose.
Well, that's the rose. That rose is Wild Irish.
My brother. Talk to him.
Y'all and all the roses can go to goddamn hell. All I'm concerned.
It's a teammate, Kenny. It's a teammate.
My dog.
It's not a competitor.
That's my dog.
Why you gotta go to hell?
But to speak on the satisfaction of singlehood, a new one too. We got, you know what, Kiana? We really don't need to know about your new car. We really don't need to know about your new car. Why the hell you need 12 settings? What the hell you need 12? What the hell you trying to go to the moon? What the fuck?
You still getting your rubber down?
Well, you just trying to leave Earth with that. That's what you're doing, Kiana. What you trying to do?
Oh Lord.
It's different tempos.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Let me bring reel this back in. Oh my God.
See, and I did not lead this conversation astray. Just so you know,
the satisfaction of singlehood.
She's still on here saying shit.
She said them things can't
always succeed, but them roses they don't never feel you. Wait a minute, hold on. Them things can't always succeed, but them roses they don't never
fail. He didn't fail you. Yeah, as long as you keep it charged, it's fine.
I hear you, baby.
Not keep it charged, Sasha.
How you keep it charged? It's fine.
Kiana, I got some answers. Go ahead, brother. Kitty.
Oh shit, man! I lost my damn train of thought. You talking about 12 settings on the rolls and
hey, Black, you get your rubber down.
But I do want to say this about the satisfaction of singlehood, and I think what you read is that women are more satisfied being single than men are, and I really believe that is real truth to that is because of, again, the era that we are in now. I think women are willing to say that they don't. A man is just an accessory now for them. That's just something that I can have and add on to whatever I got. So I don't need them. But I think at the end of the day, we really got to be honest and say we need each other. And I think that's the conversation that we don't really want to have is like, we got all our issues and we're different and we made up different. But at the end of the day, as a black man, I need you, black women. I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to start it. Go for police down. See, I'm trying to be serious and then see.
You being serious, Kenny.
Yeah, that just so. But I'm gonna be honest.
Can you finish? Black men.
Yeah, as a black man, I'm saying to all the black women that watch this later, as black men, we need you for real. I'm gonna be serious. Okay. And black women, y'all need us too. Mm-hmm. We just need to quit all this going back and forth, man, and just gonna be honest and like I want to be with you. I ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. Let's figure this thing out. I ain't trying to build. Let's build each other up instead of trying to go apart. But anyway,
bravo, my brother. So, let me share with you guys how much I love this man. And I want you guys to stay tuned because at the end of April, we're going to launch our own platform, and you're going to get the true Capricornian Janus effect because that's him. I don't necessarily need you, nasty filthy no good bitches. I'm going to say that right now. But
he do. He don't want
what are you going to call the show? What are you going to call it? The creepy
Capricorn? I'm just saying that in a different context. I'm saying that in a different context because Cece says, and black women need black men too. The black man is very much needed. I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope you support and follow me and his brother when we launch because we're going to be having this conversation in a way that has never been done before. Having said that, on being as serious as I can be, when I'm discovering Kenny is I hear the numbers, and when I saw that, I'm discovering just as many men are finding satisfaction in singlehood. That's kind of what for me is what launched this show. That when I have talked to men and I've asked them, are you looking, or what I'm discovering? The dating scene is so bad in this whole show. If you go back and watch from the beginning, there's a lot of points we covered. What I find a lot of men saying, I'm good. And it's not, contrary to popular belief, not every guy out there is homosexual and trying to go that route. There's a lot of a bigger segment, that's a growing segment of men, I should say, that's coming to the conclusion that I'm okay. I'm starting to see men now take a page out of women's book and go on guy trips again. Somewhere in there, I see that I don't know, because of testosterone or our manhood or whatever, it was looked at in a different way. But I'm rediscovering more men saying, hey, we need to get together and go out like we used to. Because somewhere in there, we lost where brothers got together and had a barbecue and played dominoes and spades and got together. And it wasn't about women and getting this, that, and the other. And I'm discovering more men in different age groups. So the funny part about it, because my first assumption when it was happening, I thought, well, maybe, oh man, he don't want no pussy. You know what I'm saying? I was single-mindedness in my approach, but I'm discovering it's a lot of them. It's not about that. It's just about I'm not going to work that hard. I'm not going to jump through those hoops. And oh, by the way, if they are replacing us with the roles, I'm good.
It's not a replacement. No one said that.
Now, to your point, Han, I want to go back to
Hannah. It is.
It's not. It's a teammate. It is not a competitor.
Well, so here's the thing. I want to acknowledge where she said that sometimes them things fail you and the roles don't. I can't speak to that because I don't have a pussy. I don't have a snatch.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I would imagine
my report ain't never. I ain't got no failures on
my so that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I can't speak to that. Only women. There's a reason why they're popular. I would imagine that there's a lot of bad dick out there that led to the popularity of this and women not being satisfied. Now, let me dispel a couple of myths out there. There's just as much bad pussy out there too. It's just that we're men. We'll take it whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But that don't mean that it recently installs. And then I want to give caution to you one out there, these roses and stuff, because it's not as much of a turn on. Keep your fingers constantly out of your pussy. Your hat digging your fingers and knuckles all in your pussy, flapping that thing all around. You wonder why you can't be satisfied, because then by the time a stick get in that motherfucker, it's just wallowing around like a big hole. And I'm just saying, so my thing is, that you can be doing more harm than good when it comes to these types of situations. Now, I'm not knocking anybody from self-gratification, and that's great. And I think it's sad that to a certain extent we being replaced. But that's why, like Cece says, there's a flip side to that too. They're making dolls and stuff, that without all of the back talk, the lip, the attitude. I don't feel like sucking dick tonight. That's why they're making these artificial dolls and shit like. So again, sometimes we just want to plop ourselves in a hole, stuff it good, feel full, and get a nut and shut the fuck up without hearing a whole lot of backlash.
Well, Jesus.
She done. Look, so I'm just saying. So look,
I'm done with you.
Y'all got the roles.
Because why? How do we go?
Well, the
rose
doesn't go up in you to wallow you out. It's only for the clit. Okay, so let's be very clear. And it can take 30 seconds or less, depending on how much you use it, for how efficient it is.
We need to doggone get a t-shirt made with wallow you out.
For real talk, I can't compete with that. I can't be on those 30 seconds or less. Because by the time I have you nasty bitches, before I get to the stench, then I can't even take the smell.
That's the thing. If a man is 30 seconds or less, it's bad because the woman didn't get off. But if you use the rose with it, you might look like a superstar. So just keep that in mind. If you a quick drama bro,
for those who went for I ain't knocking it. It's a great. Men have fleshlights. They had their hand, all that kind of stuff. But some of you bitches do need a rose because again, the stench down there, ain't nobody gonna be fucking with you down there anyway. Half of you bitches don't even wash properly. Big long fingernails and all that kind of stuff, and you still playing on your pussy. And then the musty ass hairs and the lips all flapping around and beat up and torn. So some of you bitches really do need a roll.
Man, you just sound like you described the old jalopy.
Just like old jalopy. Some of these pussies been driven way too hard and way too long.
I'm done. I'm exiting left.
Now, I want to be clear for anybody watching the show. This one that's talking about the roles, I'm about for her. That's a sexy black motherfucker. So I'm not talking about her specifically. And it's a shame that you using a rose because that pussy should be getting licked and stuck every night. So that's just my
my goodness.
But okay.
What the hell?
I'm just gonna say.
Good Lord.
Kiana says, she says, yes, you do need a woman, not a bitch, Black.
Oh,
what the hell is going on?
That's why I won't leave no stone unturned. I want my woman to be my bitch.
Lord.
Yes, I did.
So,
grown one says I wasn't married, I'll be single because the pickings are slim
grown woman, ain't nothing out here.
Not a replacement, because women still need that ride. It don't get that effect of thank you for saying
that. And that's good. That's good to see that. Again, that was my whole
real talk is out of shape. Real talk in shape. I'm out of shape, baby. I'm a fat old man, but real talk is in shape. Kiana says the good part about the roses, you ain't got to put it in, you just put it on the top.
Exactly. There you go.
So, then I might be an advocate. I just hate when women keep digging their big fingers all in their pussy and stuff.
It doesn't go in there. No.
It doesn't go in.
It's the shape of a rose, but at the top of it, it goes on your clit and it just vibrates. That's all it does.
Wiggling around.
It vibrates.
It don't go in.
It don't go in the cooch.
It does not go in.
God bless you, but that's why I say we can't do that. I'm just giving clarity on the rose. I don't want you to get no bad reviews. Kiana, you know me. I don't give a fuck if I get a bad review or not. If I stuff my dick in your head or tail, whether it gets soft or hard, it was in there. So I don't give a fuck. You can tell whoever you want to tell.
Wait a minute. Wait.
That mindset why women will go
timeout. Can we get a television timeout? Really?
She said, Thompson said you could go to sleep. I don't care about no bad reviews. Damn, what kind of woman you been around?
Right? Like, who you with? With the same cooch.
I gotta tell you, the bitches that gave me more trouble, the more trouble was the bitches from Church's Chicken. Bitches that got good jobs, they have the accent right. So where they need to work on it, you already know.
Yes.
I stop every Saturday, and I was just in the aisle today buying deodorant, shaving cream. That aisle is empty. Them nasty, no good bitches ain't even buying douche no more. They're not cleaning them pussies out. They're not soaking them pussies in bathtubs with nothing at all. They just think that they can strap clothes on them mustard snatchers and can walk them out the door. Them drawers go walk across and party on the dance floor they goddamn self.
There was like a whole movement of women who were doing the Yanni steams. I think those have gone off, but they were doing the Yanni steam where they was putting like herbs and berries and shit and sitting over it like steaming their vagina.
For no reason.
What, lady?
It was
them herbs.
Yes.
We don't have to complicate it. Good old fashioned soap, and they got dollar stores like Dollar Tree. And a lot of these bitches out here ain't even
don't put no Dollar Tree up your cooch. That's Lee. You can
get a bar soap from Dollar Tree. It don't have. That's the problem, honestly. See, Hannah, you part of the problem. You got these bitches thinking they got to go to Bath and Body Works to get soap, and they can get a bar soap at Dollar Tree.
No. You gonna throw somebody pH balance off? Let me put Irish Spring.
I would rather smell like cheap soap than sardines and crab legs.
Nah. But if the pH balance is thrown off, it's gonna be worse.
You know what?
Just saying.
We need to get our finals.
I just want to answer. She says, I'm talking about I don't want to bear with you because that ain't even met. Okay, I'm not sure.
They ain't even met me yet personally. That's what it is.
They ain't even met me yet personally.
I was talking about I don't want to what?
Oh, y'all might need to take that conversation offline. I don't know what's
you was at I'm at Dollar Tree every Saturday, and I had a cuss
y'all outside to take Dollar Tree. Don't put no Dollar Tree.
You can't put nothing in the cooch, not in the butt.
I don't know why. The soap that I wipe my dick off come from Dollar Tree, and if it's good enough to clean my knob and stuff inside a head and snatch, then
some of that Dollar Tree soap can throw off the pH balance, so then it does smell like a shrimp boil. So you just got to be careful with what you washing it with.
Ladies, then listen to ladies. I ain't argue with what kind of soap. It just needs to be clean. But half of them ain't even buying soap, where they spend all that money on hair, all that money on nails, and then your pussy stink.
Oh, okay.
Get some peppermint soap.
No, but that cheap shit will mess your kids' balance up, baby. So again, I know if it's a woman that takes care of herself, like you do, like all you do on this panel, but y'all have to be realistic. Y'all know that these women ain't thinking. Most of these women ain't thinking about their pH balance. These bitches is just not washing and wiping. Half these bitches don't wash their hands when they go in the bathroom, so they contaminate their damn self. You know, because half of them ain't taught whether you should wipe front to back or not. These bitches ain't even wearing Kotex. They draws all stiff from stiff blood and stuff. You nasty, no good bitches.
Hey, who do you see?
What is going on?
Boy, and also, do not listen to work. Don't put no peppermint up there.
I don't want to ban you because I haven't even met them.
I haven't even met them personally yet. My bad. I'm saying this instead of typing it. Yeah, no. I know you. You know, I can't imagine.
No, you cool.
We all cool with you here.
Really, you're clean.
Hey, I'm like Tupac on Poetic Justice. We all family.
Yeah.
Hey, cuz.
Yeah, she clean.
We all family.
Yeah.
I need you to never be around them funkies again, because if you ain't wiping yourself properly, it's crazy.
Hannah, sometimes you don't know that pussy has got funk to it till you.
No, you know. Oh no, you know.
You do not. You baby. I'm telling you as a man, them pussies don't start funky sometimes, and it's a difference between a twang and a full-on funk. I don't mind a little bit of must. When you beating them pussies in 10 minutes in, you smell a little bit of twang. Okay, that's gonna happen. But when that full onslaught come to you, that's a whole different ball game.
Here's the thing. I think sometimes when he's talking about a musk, I think it's with a K, like a musk, and it could be that woman's pheromones. That maybe that's what he's talking about, not necessarily a must with a T.
No, not musty.
No, I think I like about it with the T. No, I think he's talking about with the T.
I'm thinking funk.
I'm talking about musty. That some of them pussies, I have to have a fan blowing behind me and a ceiling fan blowing on top of me. That's an infection. But by then, I'm already in it. So this is where I started out. All these pussies ain't good, but I'm in them. At that point, if you already in it, you might as well leave a deposit in that furry bank, no matter what.
I knew what he was talking about.
If that's beyond soap, go to your OBGYN. That's beyond soap. Soap cannot fix it.
Hannah, how many of these, a lot of these bitches ain't got no OB, whatever you call them, OBYG and
go to urgent
care. Half these bitches ain't got no personal doctor. Half of them ain't got Medicaid. And the ones that do, they ain't going there for that.
Hey, Black, they young Johns?
Huh?
They young?
Young. Oh, that's the sad part about it. You would think I would only be talking about these young bitches, but no. You should leave that where it's at. I'm trying, but you keep on instigating.
No, we wasn't.
You know what?
You were not by yourself. You were by yourself.
We need to get to the final. We need to get to the final thoughts. Can we get to the final thoughts segment of the show? We need the final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Get your rose. Wash it off every now and then. Wash it and get your rose. I don't know.
Go to the Dow store.
Keep thinking of me, so. Eric say I'm watching the same show because
it did.
Right, Terry.
It went real loud.
Go back and blame Yana. Go back and blame Yana.
It went left real quick.
No, Black, you went by yourself there for a minute. Well, nobody was. You was by yourself for a minute.
Yeah.
It ain't no funk this way.
I'm trying to throw the blame on Yana.
You know, a good question is to ask: do women feel the same way if men get musty balls?
Yes. Doesn't matter with your stank dick. Wash your balls. Lift them up. Not just hair. Lift them up.
Now see how hard
go to your booty. It's not gay to wash your crack. get in your butt and wash that butt. It ain't gay to wash your butt.
Wash that goop. Wash that goop.
Wait a minute, Hunter. Slow down, baby.
And squirt around the ball.
Hunter went off.
Hunter, you're not qualified to answer this question because you're married. So I'm sitting here telling you, babe, little sister, let me tell you, I get more requests not to wash my balls and dick than you would imagine. They say they want that man must and funk. I get more requests. Have you? And I also get the ones where have you fucked? Don't wash your dick yet. These bitches don't drip a drop, and they want your dick and balls.
You can't let them near you, bro. They up there, they doing dirty dicks.
Why? Again, I got out of the game because these bitches start scaring me. Look, I don't even do nothing physical, and my drawers be just as tart as a motherfucker, and they still want to lick and suck. These nasty no good bitches don't care.
You know what? I'm done.
Wait a minute. To answer the other question, no. Yes, women care about your balls and everything.
Yes.
Especially you try to stick in your dick and you keep trying to stick your dick in somebody's mouth. Yes, we can.
You know what I'm doing with Brother Black? You got to remember that's coming from a guy that said he been to the clinic 4 times in a row. So you got to remember that.
Why you got to put me out there?
We see why now, Kenny. They slapping out HPV early.
Brother Black wildin'. My brother up there wildin'.
Dirty balls. Yeah, shout out.
Asking somebody not to wash is crazy.
Yana, I got out the game. These bitches too nasty for me. They don't want me to bathe. They want me to spit out, and they want to lick my shitty crack if they want me not to wipe my ass. And again, I'm just not willing to do that.
Bro.
Yeah, brother. My brother, he wildin'. My brother, he wildin'.
Breast smelling like
What
say it again.
Burnt hot dogs.
And you see Similac, now that they breast and they long fucking teeth, if you let these bitches, they'll have brown shit crusted around their teeth. They wouldn't drip it.
See, that's why I made mention of that story. That's why I made mention of that story that went viral because she literally met a man and a few weeks later asking him if he has ever had his ass ate. Weird. You can't go from 0 to 100 that quick. It's the story that's gone viral just this last week.
Ghost spray?
Oh yes.
CC, for the record, I'm super clean. That's why I swear this on the soul of my two brothers. That's why I got out of it, CC, because I got more requests to not be, and I was like, well, sweetheart, now I gotta take a shower. And as fat as I am, I have to wash every night. And I famously said, you got men out here who don't wash beneath. When I go in here a few minutes, I'm gonna prop my fat leg up and seesaw in the crack of my ass. This is every night, because again, I don't even do nothing physical, and I know my drawers be just as hard as they can be.
I'm done.
And so I know there's bitches out there who running errands and going from place to place and pissing in their drawers and playing in their pussies with this, that, and that. Them pussies is more than tart.
I'm done. That's it.
You know what?
That's it. I'm done.
I'm done.
It's for real talk.
You will, boy. This night.
We done for the night.
What I came into. If y'all was going before I came,
No. We was
all right.
End might have went off the rails.
I walked into crazy.
No, so Hunter, the end went off the rails a little bit, but it hopefully was
a little bit.
The end damn sure went off the rails. The damn show, the end went off the rails. The balcony, the goddamn patio, the backyard, the front porch, the back porch.
So if you don't take nothing else, so I'm gonna sum up the show for us. Seesaw the crack of your ass. Don't play in your pussy too much. Wash your toys. Go to the Dollar Tree. Get you some dollar soap and give the dating apps a chance. That's what I took away from the show.
Don't watch the balls.
And happy single. And happy single life.
Find an OB.
Right.
Find an OBGYN.
Tasha killed it. If you don't hit nothing else, hey, she killed it. She killed it, Oh my God. Y'all got me over here sweating.
That's you.
I'm glad. We perked you up, brother. I'm glad we did.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we good.
This has been a great couple of hours to spend with you guys. Thank you for spending with us. We always have fun, for real, on the serious note. I do love it. So I thank you guys. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all weekend and continue the conversation long after we close the camera off. See us again next Saturday. And again, Kitty and I got something special coming for you guys at the end of April. So stay tuned. Please follow us and start telling people that it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, y'all.
Coming. Yes, sir.
Love you all as always. Have a great rest of your weekend. Always keep it real and keep it fun.
Peace.